In other news, Australia said Wednesday it would revoke a state government's deal to join China's Belt and Road Initiative because it was inconsistent with the nation's foreign policy, prompting an angry response from Beijing. Canberra last year introduced new laws widely seen as targeting China that allow it to scrap any agreements between state authorities and foreign countries deemed to threaten the national interest. Take a look.
So we will always act in Australia's national interest to protect Australia, but to also ensure that we can advance our national interests of a free and open Indo-Pacific and a world that seeks a balance in favour of freedom. And the Foreign Relations Act that our government put in place was designed to protect our national interests by ensuring that there were no other agreements entered into by any other level of government that would conflict with Australia's national interest. And so what we've done is we've followed through. And there have been 4 agreements that the Foreign Minister has terminated in line with that Foreign Relations Act, that power that we were able to attract from the Parliament.
澳联邦政府无理否决维州政府同中方签署的一带一路合作协议，肆意干扰破坏正常的交流合作，严重损害中澳关系和两国互信。中方对此表示强烈不满和坚决反对，已经向澳方提出严正交涉。中方保留对此作出进一步反应的权利。我们敦促澳方摒弃冷战思维和意识形态的偏见，客观理性看待中澳合作，立即纠正错误，改弦更张，不要在错误的道路上越走越远，使原本就面临严重困难的中澳关系雪上加霜。
Foreign Minister Maurice Payne said Wednesday the federal government would override the Victorian state government's decision to sign up to the Belt and Road Initiative, a vast network of investments that critics say is cover for Beijing creating geopolitical and financial leverage. Payne said 2 documents signed in 2018 and 2019 respectively, a Memorandum of Understanding and Framework Agreement, were among 4 she would tear up under the new powers. As relations between the 2 countries nosedive, following spats over the origins of the coronavirus and Canberra's blocking of Chinese telecoms giant Huawei, Defense Minister Peter Dutton said Canberra was worried about local governments entering into such agreements with Beijing. Dutton said the government's problem was not with the Chinese people, but rather the values or virtues or the outlook of the Chinese Communist Party. Other agreements between foreign powers and local governments are still under consideration, and Canberra could yet target the presence of Chinese government-backed Confucius Institutes at Australia's public universities. Critics say the institutes, which have been the subject of controversy on some campuses, promote the Communist Party's self-serving version of Chinese culture and history. The schism between Australia and its largest export market widened on Thursday as Beijing railed at the abrupt cancellation and warned it would damage trust between the 2 countries.